Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Week 10 edition of the Border NFL Gurus Commissioner's Address. As always, I will be your host, and let's fucking get right at her. Another beauty week. We had some major upsets, some tight games, and we even managed to sneak a blowout in there. So, enough fucking chit-chat. Let's get at her. Let's open up with Joe Buck Yourself versus Suck My Ditka. This was the 3 seed versus the 8 seed, but that has changed after this week. Joe Buck Yourself taking this one 129-93, trailing by 14 going into that Monday nighter. Guess who finally shows up? Cam fucking Newton, 43 points. Nice showing. And Graham Gano tacked on 10 more just for good measure. And that was most certainly enough to overcome that 14-point deficit. Suck My Ditka, led by Matt Stafford, and Todd Gurley had a mediocre day. He has been more of a stud than that, but at the end of the day, loss. Joe Buck Yourself back to his winning ways. Moving over to the Mighty Ducks versus Billy Large. This had to be the surprise, maybe not only of the week, but of the season. Mighty Ducks taking this one, 125-103. I don't remember the last time Reed put up that many points, but good on you, buddy. You're still alive in this thing, believe it or not. Led by DeMarco Murray and Tevin Coleman. Tevin Coleman, the beneficiary of a Devonta Freeman injury. Looks like he's going to be out a couple weeks with concussion protocol. And a solid showing from his linebackers. Billy Spence, Billy Large opted to go with Big Ben instead of Kirk Cousins. I would have bought him another 8 points. Other than that, pretty much everybody on his bench was on a bye, so he almost started the best roster he could. Even if he did, he would not have won. So Reed, good on you. Nice W. Moving over to the Iredell Beckhams and the Panty Raiders. This was the 4 versus 9 seed, I believe it was, before going into this week. And lo and behold, Iredell Beckhams taking this one by 30 points, 120-90, breaking his downward death spiral. Nice showing for him. Tom Brady, 28 points. Isaiah Crowell with 15, and Adam Thielen goes off for 22 for the Vikes. They're looking dangerous. I like the Vikes this year. I think they got a real shot at making a little bit of noise in those playoffs. So regardless, Iredell Beckham's picking up the W and pulling out of that death spiral. Thanks, Jay. That helps me out too. So Panty Raiders are right on my ass. Moving over to Vic This versus Clug the Plug. This was definitely our tightest match of the week. Vic This taking it by 1.2 points, 106.26 to 105.02. Russell Wilson for Clug the Plug had an okay day again. Michael Thomas with 12 in that blowout over the Bills. Joe Mixon, Gostkowski, other than that, pretty mediocre day. And Vic This led by Marcus Mariota, Stephon Diggs, Latavius Murray, Ty Montgomery all had respectable days for him. Yeah, if Clug the Plug would have started Funchess, he'd have had the W. Funchess had a nice night. Carolina runs over Miami in that Monday nighter. Moving over to Hanging with Hernandez versus Rays Finkles. Race Finkel's picking this one up, 122-81. 81 points is a bad shitting. Almost as many as your high school team put up in that provincial final. Harder. Congrats on the big W, by the way. For those of you that don't know, Brian is a high school coach, and his team won provincials this weekend. So good on you, buddy. They're better than you anyway. So Hanging with Hernandez, tough day. Tyrod Taylor putting up 3 points. AP with a dreadful 2.2. LaShawn McCoy was 6. Anyone from Buffalo was pretty much rendered ineffective in that blowout. Race Finkles opting to start Eli Manning. 20 points, but they lost to the Niners, which is fucked. Devontae Adams had 15 and a decent defensive performance. So 122-81. Race Finkles picking that one up. and yeah, moving him into the 5th seed. Rosterbation versus Rogers Dodgers, our final game of the week. Rosterbation picking up the W in this one, 128 to 124, vaulting him into first place with an 8-2 mark. So good on ya, Rosterbation. Randy, good job, buddy. Led by, well, a few solid outings there. Fitz, Golden Tate, Ingram drops a 31 burger in that blowout against Buffalo, and McCaffrey also had a nice night with 17 points. He's been pretty good for him this year. Rogers Dodgers opting to go with Jared Goff again, and it proved to be a good choice with 32 points. But I don't know, when your kicker's your highest scoring player, second highest scoring player every week, week in and week out, things are bound to fall apart for you. And lo and behold, they did. So Rosterbation picking up the W in that one. Let's go ahead and get into our blowout of the week here. Our blowout of the week belongs to Hanging with Hernandez, who got fucking thumped by Race Finkles by 41 points. Race Finkles really laying a fucking beat down on him. So, Mr. Harder, you are our blowout of the week. And our jackass of the week. Oh, come on. Now it's going to reload. Fuck. Hate doing this on my iPad. Our jackass of the week this week is going to go to Mr. William Spence. Getting not pumped, but beat by our 12 seed, who literally had one win prior to coming in. I mean, you're the 1 seed, Billy. That shouldn't happen. But lo and behold, it did. And based on that and that alone, you, sir, are our jackass of the week. So let's take a quick rundown of the standings, shall we? Looking at the Rockstar division, we have Rosterbation not only leading that div, but sitting in the 1 seed. 8-2 mark, well done. Leading the way. Followed by Joe Buck yourself with a 7-3 mark, and that puts him in the 3 seed. Fun